Welcome to session 2 of module 6, Participation and Collaboration. In this session, we will focus on issues pertaining to participation and collaboration in the context of music education. In this session, you will reflect on what music is, elaborate on the importance of active participation and collaboration in music making within diverse groups, explore diverse activities for promoting active engagement and cooperation among participants, and examine creative ways for ensemble coordination, creativity, and improvisation. First, let's examine what is music. It is crucial to consider and ponder about the nature of music. According to Small, 1998, music is not a thing at all, but an activity, something that people do, page 2. He provides his own definition of what music is. To music is to take part in any capacity in a musical performance, whether by performing, by listening, by rehearsing, or practicing, by providing material for performance, what is called a composition, or by dancing, page 9. He further states that the fundamental nature and meaning of music lie not in objects, not in musical works at all, but in action, in what people do. To take part in a music act is of central importance to our very humanness. And everyone, every normally endowed human being, is born with the gift of music, no less than with the gift of speech, page 8. According to the philosopher Nicholas Walterstorff, the basic reality of music is not works, not the composition of works, but music making. Eliot, 1995, provides his own explanation of what music is by indicating that music reminds us that performing and improvising through singing and playing instruments lies at the heart of music as a diverse human practice, page 49. In his explanation of what music making entails, he also includes in it, apart from performing, improvising, composing, arranging, and conducting, even rehearsing and practicing. Thus, for Small, 1998, performance is central to the musical experience. According to him, fixed musical works or even composers are not needed in order to music. As he eloquently described, musical works exist in order to give performers something to perform, page 8. Such an approach goes in contrast to the commonly held viewpoint in Western art music, in which music is mainly associated with the score, the recording, or the specific intentions of the composer. Let's examine the importance of active participation and collaboration in music making within diverse groups. According to Small, 1999, musicking is an activity in which all those present are involved and for whose success or failure all those present bear a responsibility, page 12. He further indicates that musical performance is an encounter between human beings where meanings are being generated, and that those meanings are bigger than simply the meanings of which a musical work is assumed to be the bearer, page 13. In community music, what is fundamental is the active participation of everyone involved and bringing people together through music-making activities. Active participation leads to skill development. By participating in a music ensemble or in group activities with music, members advance, develop, and refine their musical skills in an instrument and in singing, thus advancing their overall musicianship. Through collaboration and teamwork, they share ideas through rehearsing, improvising, composing, performing, moving, and/or dancing together. When musicking, participants learn to listen to and communicate with each other, to follow hand directions and cues from a conductor, as well as bodily cues from a leader or facilitator. When participants feel safe and free to collaborate with others, they are more apt to engage in creative and innovative ways that allow them to think and act beyond the confines imposed on them in everyday life. This exploration can be liberating and rewarding, both musically and artistically, but also emotionally and mentally. Active participation in music allows for cultural understanding. Music is a universal human phenomenon, and as such, it contains and expresses cultural elements that characterize the identity of the group by which it was created. Thus, through music making, participants are able to have a better understanding of the culture and its people, especially if movement and dance are incorporated as well. Music has a power to connect and bring together people from diverse backgrounds. It fosters cultural appreciation, empathy, and respect for others. Active participation, instead of arts reception and consumerism, is paramount for cultural democracy, which, according to Higgins 2012, means that creative arts opportunities, enjoyment and celebration would or should be available to all. Page 33. Let's explore diverse activities for promoting active engagement and cooperation among participants. In order to have active participation, engagement, and collaboration in a musical context with numerous participants, what is needed is the guidance of a lead player or a facilitator, a shared understanding and feeling of the pulse of the beat, utilization of different music parts for the specific ensemble, and/or direction from a conductor. Participants can get actively involved by using their voice, their body, simple percussion instruments, musical instruments, movement, and dancing. Participants can also become actively engaged and collaborate musically with others through improvisation, composition, or through musical games and activities. Here you can see various selected websites that provide suggestions and practical guidelines for communal music activities. I encourage you to check them out all. Here are some suggested activities. The first one is titled Free Collective Improvisation. Participants are divided into various small groups of 4 or 5 people and are invited to engage in free rhythmic improvisation, i.e., without a beat, using only sounds that they can make with their bodies, such as clap, snap, patchen, stamp, etc., and using only their voice, making sounds but not specific words. Participants are encouraged to listen, interact with others, and be as creative as they can. Following the above activity, participants are given various percussive instruments and are asked to engage in rhythmic improvisation, this time using percussive instruments. The second suggested activity is titled Improvisatory Dialogue. As a development of the previous activity, participants are divided in groups of 2 and are invited to engage in free rhythmic improvisation without a beat, using only sounds that they can make with their bodies, clap, snap, patch, and stamp, and their voice, making sounds but not specific words. Participants are encouraged to listen, interact with their partner, and be as creative as they can. Following the above activity, participants are given various percussive instruments and are asked to engage in rhythmic improvisation, this time using percussive instruments. At the link here, you can see a vocal improvisation game. Another suggested activity is titled Clap My Name. Participants are in a circle and are asked to keep a steady beat and are invited to speak their name rhythmically and to accompany it with body percussion, clapping, snapping, patching, and stamping. Following the above activity, participants are given various percussive instruments and are asked to do the same, this time using the instruments. Another activity is titled Rumble Ball. This was initiated by Kalani Das. Participants are in a circle and the facilitator rolls a ball or throws it up in the air. Participants are asked to watch and play on a percussive musical instrument the movement of the ball, reacting through sound in what they see. This game can be performed in many different ways, with their voice, with body percussion, or with percussive musical instruments. You can see this exercise at the link below. Another fun activity is titled Vocal Elevator. Participants are in a circle and they go down to the ground and slowly start going upwards up to the tip of their toes, while at the same time singing in a neutral syllable from their lowest note to the highest in a slow and smooth glissando. The goal of this activity is to realize their vocal range and expand it towards the lower and higher end. The activity should be repeated several times until participants have a good understanding how to expand their vocal range. Another activity is called Conduct Us. Participants are in a circle and the facilitator moves his or her hands in the same way that the conductor conducts the ensemble. Specifically, big movements mean forte or loud, small movements mean piano or soft. Connected and smooth movements mean connected and smooth sound, and separated movements mean detached sounds. Participants are asked to watch the movements of the facilitator or the conductor and speak in a neutral syllable with their voices, reacting and expressing in what they see. Like the other activities, this activity can also be performed in different ways, not only with the voice, but with the use of various percussion, various musical instruments. A continuation of this activity is called Conduct You. The difference now is that the conductor or facilitator is one of the participants. The conductor facilitator is encouraged to explore ways to achieve a musical result with non-verbal communication through hand movement and facial expressions. This activity gives participants the opportunity to undertake the role of the conductor and to be able to give clear musical directions and cues to others. This activity can be performed in many different ways, not only with the voice, but also with percussive musical instruments, the piano, and other instruments. Here are some suggested videos for guided improvisation, in which a facilitator or conductor provides specific cues to participants which they have to follow and realize in music. The title of the next activity is called A Song in Variation. Participants are divided in small groups and are asked to choose one or two of their favorite songs. The facilitator has prepared envelopes which contain a piece of music with short directives in regards to how each group should perform and adapt their favorite song. The envelopes contain directions such as the following: faster, slower, higher, lower, staccato, legato, monotonous, with dynamic changes, with words, or with neutral syllables. An envelope is given in each group, and participants have to execute the song according to the direction indicated in each envelope. Groups change envelopes every 5 minutes, thus enable them to perform the song in many different ways. The title of the next activity is This is Our Song. Participants are divided in small groups and are asked to think of a theme. Then they are given 5 minutes to write 2 distichs or 2-line couplets. Groups are then given another 10 minutes in order to add a melody to those verses, thus composing their own song. Participants are encouraged to add any kind of accompaniment, vocal, instrumental, percussive, etc., to the melody. Each group is invited to present their song for each other. Here you can see a list of references for this session. Thank you very much for your attention.